Well, in other news, Jonathan Majors, who played Marvel's Kang the Conqueror on that wonderful Loki show, got dismissed just hours after a jury found him guilty of domestic abuse.
It is what it is.
But yet, a certain someone who choked women on video in a drunken stupor and did some pedo-ish things technically still has a job.
Fucking pronouns!
Hypocrisy? Thy name is Disney. I'm Jazz Borganzo, and this.
You're a fucking idiot.
So what's next? What's up, everyone? Jazz Borganzo, your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Wednesday. Well, this is not really breaking news because it's about 24 hours after the cycle. But anyway, news nonetheless. Marvel's Disney finally, or Disney's Marvel, however you want to put it, finally gets rid of somebody for doing something wrong. What? You gotta be kidding, right? These guys don't fire anybody. You know, they're all about inclusive, diversity, equity. Well, in this case, yeah, not so much. Jonathan Majors, who played that wonderful Kang the Conqueror on that wonderful Loki show that really is not that good, got fired just hours after he got convicted of a domestic abuse charge. Well, isn't that nice? But then again, we'll talk about a certain someone who chokeslammed women on video in a drunken stupor and did some pedo-ish things, but yet technically still has a job. And that'll be in my thoughts. And here we go. This comes out of Bounding in the Comics. Jonathan Majors, found guilty of harassment, third-degree reckless assault in domestic violence case. Following his conviction, Disney has officially chosen to drop Majors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Further, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty is now being referred to as just Avengers 5, so it really doesn't mean nothing in the end. In what's likely to be the final blow that would be the Conqueror's multiverse machinations, a New York jury has officially found former Marvel star, Jonathan Majors guilty of both reckless assaulting and harassing his now ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, this past March. Per The Hollywood Reporter, the six-person council of Majors' peers reached a decision in the actor's criminal trial on the afternoon of December 18th, having deliberated for just 4 hours in a span of 3 days. Well, that was pretty quick. Originally charged with 3 counts of assault in the third degree, aggravated harassment in the second degree, 3 counts of attempted assault in the third degree, and harassment in the second degree, holy shit, in relation to supposed altercations between him and Jabari, Majors was ultimately found guilty of reckless assault in the third degree and harassment. In the wake of the victory, one of Jabari's lawyers, Ross Kramer, issued a statement to the media declaring, "We are gratified to see justice served by today's guilty verdict." Ms. Jabari testified publicly and truthfully, even though reliving these traumatic events on the witness stand was obviously painful. Said Kramer, "We are grateful to the jurors and the jury, and the judge, for their attention and patience, and to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for their hard work and support." Ms. Jabari is resolved to see this case to the end and demonstrates her tremendous strength and resilience. The statement continued. Unfortunately, for every survivor like Ms. Jabari who comes forward to hold their abusers accountable, there are many others who believe that they cannot. We hope that her actions will inspire other survivors to speak the truth and seek justice. Though Majors and his lawyer, celebrity attorney Priya Jandri, as writing this, have yet to provide an official statement. The latter made the pair's stance on matter clear during their closing arguments. Quote, "They bought her white lies," Chaudhry said during the unsuccessful attempt to sway the jury in Major's favor. Per a recap by The Vulture, they bought her big lies. These prosecutors brought prosecutors white lies, her big lies, and all her pretty little lies. And just to make sure, lies. Yes. If you believe Grace, then despite Jonathan Majors telling on how dangerous it was for a black man to call the police in Atlanta, gee, racisms. Who'd think that when it came out in this case? Despite that, he beat her badly in a car and was both that was both in her name, and then called 911 himself, she added. If you believe Grace, then Jonathan caused these injuries, and he told the 911 operator about her injuries. And then he told the cops who showed up at his apartment when they had an argument the night before. His fear of what happened when a black man in Atlanta calls 911 came true. Further assisted Chaudhry, and now we're here. Yes, because of racisms, Majors did what he did. Well, Facing a collective punishment up to 1 year behind bars, Majors is set to return to Manhattan Criminal Court on February 7th for sentencing. As of writing this, Disney has yet to issue an official decision on whether or not their verdict will have any impact on Majors' continued existence in the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Kang the Conqueror. But being that they fired him, pretty much says it all, doesn't it? In compare and contrast, Jonathan Majors, who says he did all these things, was afraid of what a black man, what would happen to a black man if he called the cops in Atlanta, because, of course, it's all about the racisms and not the actual physical abuse that was put upon Miss Jabari. Who cares? But for Disney and Marvel to just dismiss him, unwarranted, of course, just hours after his conviction, says a lot. Because a certain someone named, Ezra Miller, yes. Ezra Miller, who played the Flash in that wonderful movie that cratered marvelously. It was a masterpiece of craterism. There are many videos of him, many eyewitness accounts of him chokeslamming women, in a drunken stupor. That was on video. Those who have come out about his, quote, pedoisms regarding a certain family. And on and on and on. But yet, with all this wackiness that Ezra Miller's done, because he's just, I'm sorry, he calls himself them, they, or whatever the fuck he calls himself now. The fact of the matter is, he's a dude and a cuck at that. Yet, still technically employed by Marvel and Disney. But yet, Jonathan Majors, who got convicted of a serious crime, domestic abuse, got dismissed like that. Funny. You gotta love Hollywood, full of hypocrisy, full of bullshit, and more bullshit. But then again, it's Marvel Disney, and it turns out that the numbers are in, and Disney has lost over $1 billion in 2023. How fitting for a trash organization. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borgonzo. This is What's Next. When you see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.